So this is the second part of the first lecture. In this lecture we'll be learning about the encryption and decryption, and mainly the data at rest and the data at transit. So how we can make sure that these both data are secure, you know. And so the tool I will be using is Wireshark, which is my packet capture, which gonna capture all the traffic which is passing through my Wi-Fi. So this is my Wi-Fi, and I'm sniffing the traffic, you know, what is passing through, and it's kind of hacking myself, you know. And the second tool I will be using is the encryption tool for the Windows, so which is BitLocker. So I will be using BitLocker to encrypt my drives. So that will be the second tool I will be using. Remember that if I gonna run BitLocker, I gonna encrypt, I gonna change the text of a file into some random numbers, characters, alphabets, and you know, all those kind of like commas, you know. So I will be changing all my data to that kind of thing. So the it should not be human readable. And if I gonna do this thing, understand this thing clearly, you know, if you gonna encrypt a drive, you should expect slowness, because if you're gonna open that file gonna be decrypted to show you the actual data, that what it is. So if you apply security, we have to sacrifice one thing, which is the speed of, you know, the way we get insecure data. It will be faster than if we're gonna get secure data. The secure data gonna be a little bit slower, because you know, it will be encrypted, decrypted, all kind of security protocols will be applied to that. So if you can see here, you know, I open in my web browser, and I open youtube.com. Let me make it smaller. Okay, youtube.com. I hit this one, and I see some traffic is going. Okay, so I stopped it. I tried to stop it, and then I go to this thing. I say, let me check this data. What passed through my what is this? So I know what it is. Okay, so I opened these data, you know, TLS 1.3. I'm gonna be discussing about TLS 1.3 in more details. So it encrypt my traffic. If you can see these numbers, you know, it's not human readable. Like, you cannot read it. Even I sniff the traffic, I capture the data, but I cannot read it. And that's why we need to make sure that the encryption is in place. And how we can make sure that encryption is in place? If you can see this log sign on the screen, so this log is showing us that this website is secure. If you don't see the log here, it means it's insecure, and your traffic is going in plain text, and then you will be able to see that traffic here. So encryption, and if you can see the encryption, you see version 1.2 and 1.3. The latest encryption, version 1.3, is the most secure today. You know, as I said, it's most secure. It's not that secure that nobody can hack into it, but it is secure than the older versions. So that's I'm trying to explain to you guys, you know, that this was the real-time capture of the data when it was flowing through my Wi-Fi, going to the internet, and on the internet it was going in this shape. You know, if you can see this on the right side, so it was in this shape. So it becomes very hard for a human being, you know, to understand this, that what it is. The second thing is turning on BitLocker. It is for the data at rest. The one we saw here was the data in transit. The data at rest is this one. So we're gonna encrypt our drive to change that data into random numbers or some, you know, if someone will steal our computer or someone will steal our hard drive, still that person will not be able to read those information until he has this key. So recovery key for this, you know, if you want to, we're gonna save this to, I will call it recovery key number 3. This is just for the labs. And then I click next, and it asks me, you know, do you wanna fast or do you wanna slow? You know, encrypt entire drive. Encrypting entire drive. If we go to this PC on my computer, and here I encrypt this whole drive. So almost 5.19 GB is free out of 222 GB. So if I gonna encrypt this whole drive, it will make the data transfer a little bit slower for me. You know, if I gonna save data in the future, the drive will already be encrypted, and all the new information when gonna be saved to that drive will try to encrypt the new data too, you know. And the saving, to save the data to the computer, the writing the data to the computer will be a little bit slower than you know. So if you're gonna do an entire drive, it will be slower. If you're gonna do like just the use disk space, it will be faster because the new data will not be encrypted until you apply encryption. Next, so and it asks for the new encryption mode and comparable encryption mode. New encryption mode is just for the fixed drive. Fixed drive means that the hard drive inside your computer. If you want to apply this thing to the drive which you're gonna be connecting to your, like, you know, your USB thumb drive or external hard drive, so then you apply comparable mode because you want to encrypt those drives as well, because if you're gonna be moving those drive from one place to another place, you know, taking that with you, so that drive should be first encrypted, and that's a comparable mode. So you select this, but I go with the fixed drive option, and now it asks me, you know, do you want to test first, or, you know, check the system, or you just want to go ahead and start encrypting and say start encrypted. Once I click on start encrypted, it will start, my drive will start, you know, you see this lock sign, so my drive started encryption. But what I do here, I say I don't want to do it because, you know, I don't want to make my computer slower. I'm not worried because I applied many more solutions except this, so I turn it off. But if you are working with one of the organization, there are a lot of options rather than, you know, like if you the BitLocker is one of the Microsoft option, but you can use a lot of application for the encryption of the drive. So right now it's being decrypted, you know, and it will bring my hard drive back to the original state, you know, the way it was. So from here you understood what is data at rest and data at transit, how to apply encryption, and then we go to the next state, which is the data integrity. Data integrity should not be changed. That should be the main concern and the main you know, one of the topest priority of an ethical hacker, or one of the topest priority of the cybersecurity professional, that the data encryption, the data integrity should remain the same, and it should not be changed. And from the data integrity, what I mean, if I send someone like a text message, or, you know, I would say, I will open Notepad. Okay, I sent someone hello, and on the way, you know, someone changed my message to this thing. How are you, Melissa? If someone this, and then And the next stage, it asks that can you please provide me your phone number. I just sent hello and someone completely changed my message. This is just an example, like if you are working with one of the organization, and you are doing the internal chat with the other employee, and someone hack into your computer and change the whole message, and take the information from the other employee, which that employee is thinking that probably you need it, for the system password or those kind of things, and that employee is thinking that you need this, but you are not the person who is asking this information. Someone in the middle, sniffing your traffic and changing the data. So that data change is, as a cybersecurity professional, you have to make sure that the data integrity remain the same, and we use different type of hashes, to check that if the data integrity changed or if not. And how we can do this thing, like that I'm gonna be teaching in the next lecture, that how we can make sure that the data integrity didn't change, and this is the same message which was sent by the user A to the user B, so the user A and the user B has the same data and it didn't change on its way. So how are we gonna make sure that it changed or it didn't? So we have a solution, and that's called hashes, and we have to make sure that the hashes remain the same. It should be the same as the original, as the originator did. The way it was at the originator places, at the sender places, it should be the same as at the receiver disk as well. So the third thing, we're trying to understand what is data availability or unavailability. So let's say this is my Wi-Fi. I give you a small example, and this is my Wi-Fi. So on my Wi-Fi, I go to the Ethernet properties and I check adapter option, and an adapter, if you go to my Wi-Fi, if you guys can see here, is 300 megabit per second is the speed which my Wi-Fi is delivering. So 300 megabit per second. And if I go to the details, I see here, you can research on the internet that what is the highest speed this NIC card can support. So this is the NIC card model, Intel Centrino or Advanced N6205. So you can take that information, you can check on the internet what is the highest capacity of this NIC card. But in this case, in my case, the speed which my NIC card can work is 300 megabit per second. What I do to it as a hacker, when I understand this thing, that hey, this NIC card is delivering with 300 megabit per second, and then what happens, I will so let's say this is the pipe that my NIC card can, the data pipe which my NIC card can support. I would say 300 MB, okay, megabit per second, Mbps. So I select this. This is the pipe which the data can flow through my Wi-Fi. What a hacker does, a hacker creates this much data and target this pipe. Oh boy. So what gonna happen if the hacker will send that much traffic to this guy? Okay, so this is the traffic and it's flowing. So let's say this is the hacker computer. Okay, this is hacker computer, and he he tried to target the user computer. We call it victim computer. Okay, so hacker attack victim with, let's say, 5 GB per second. So this kind of attack is called DDoS, denial of service. So in this case, you just assume that eBay is one of the sites, like I bring my network down, because let's say, someone is targeting my network and he sent too much traffic that my Wi-Fi cannot support anymore. And then there's another user, and that user is trying to send me, like, there are other users like this, people are connected through the Wi-Fi, through the cell phones, computer, like thousands of computers, connecting, and they just send this much data. Okay, this just send like a small amount of queries, to receive from my websites. And I will be explaining this thing more, in details. I just give you like a small examples, just like to let you understand what happens. So these guys expect more, some queries from me, but the hacker, who already engaged me, and he sent a lot of queries to me, and I'm already done, like I'm full, I cannot answer to anyone. What happens here? So this guy, queries is getting denied. So these are my customers, but computer doesn't know. Computer saying, hey, I have to answer to everyone. So their queries getting denied, and like I disconnected just my Wi-Fi to show you, So what happens if you go to here and you say, why this YouTube doesn't work, and you click again and you check other sites, and the other sites just work fine. You say, why it doesn't work? It doesn't work because hacker engaged my system, and even he is not entering, he's not logging into my computer, but still he made me so much engaged on the internet that my services are not working for other people, and other people, who are using my services, like say a bank account, or the bank website is down, or the government website is down, which providing service to all of the people around, so that goes down. And I can give you another example. Amazon and eBay are the competitors, and let's say Amazon is down because of the DDoS attack, and then the guy, the people who are expecting to buy something on the Amazon, they just ignore them and say, hey, why I have to spend too much time on the Amazon? Let's move to eBay, and let's buy something on the eBay, because I can get the same thing on internet. And there's like many more competitors, So this thing, the DDoS, what is the prevention, to prevent hackers to not attack organization with the DDoS, So I'm gonna be explaining that in the next video, and in the next lectures, that how we can stop DDoS and how we can attack computer with the DDoS. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys will have understood this a little bit clear, that what is data confidentiality, what is data integrity, and what is data availability, and how we can make sure. Thank you. Let's wait for another lecture, and I will be back soon with another lecture.